Hello guys, welcome to my channel. In today's class we shall be looking at indices. But before we look at examples of indices, let's take a look at the laws of indices. The first law says when we have a raised to power 0 is equals to 1. A raised to power 0 equals to 1. What this simply means is that any number raised to power 0 will be equals to 1. For example, if you say 3 raised to power 0, it will be equals to 1. Even if it is 100 raised to power 0, it will be equals to 1. Alright, let's take a look at the second law. The second law says, okay, when we have a raised to power m times a raised to power n, it will be equals to a raised to power m plus n. This is as a result of the fact that they have the same base. The two base here is a and a, so there is no difference. So in that case, we are going to have 1, we retain 1a, then the power will be m plus n. The multiplication sign here has changed to positive sign. Now a good example is when we have 3 raised to power 2 multiplied by 3 raised to power 4. Then this is going to give us 3 raised to power 2 plus 4. Don't forget, the reason is that they have the same base. And the indices rule says when we have multiplication of numbers of the same base, so the multiplication will change to positive. Let's look at another law. The third law says when we have a raised to power m divided by a raised to power n. The only difference between the second law and the third law here is that the division sign. You can see they both have the same base. This one also have the same base. So in that case, we also do almost the same thing we did here. That's going to be a, we retain one base, so that is a raised to power m. Now the division sign will change to minus according to the law of indices. Let's look at example of that. A good example of that is when we have a 4 raised to power 5 all over 4 raised to power 2. So you can see when we have 4 raised to power 5 all over 4 raised to power 2, they have the same base. The base of the numerator and the denominator value is 4. So in that case, let's bring 1 out. So that's going to be 4 raised to power 5 minus 2. The division sign will change to minus, will change to negative. Okay, let's take a look at another one. The fourth law says when we have a raised to power minus n, a raised to power minus n, then we are going to have 1 all over a raised to power n, 1 all over a raised to power n. And a good example is when we have a value like 9 raised to power minus 2, 9 raised to power minus 2, that is okay. So the negative will change to 1 divided by, so the negative, because the power has negative, so it's going to be 1 all over, then we just say 9 raised to power 2, 9 raised to power 2, 9 raised to power 2. Okay, all right, let's take a look at this. A, okay, open bracket a raised to power m close bracket n. So okay, you can see this one has 2 powers. So we have open bracket a raised to power m close bracket raised to power n. So when we have a situation like this, this is going to be equals to a, then these brackets we change to multiplication. It will now be m times n. So the power will be m times n. A good example is when we have let's say 4 raised to power 2, then close brackets, raised to power 3. So the two powers involved here are 2 and 3. So in that case, we are going to have 4 raised to power 2 multiplied by 3, and that's going to be 6. So these are the major laws of indices we'll be using to solve indices problem. There are still some other laws. By the time we start solving examples, I will be explaining them. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, maybe you are just watching this video for the first time, please kindly press the subscription button and also click on the notification button